What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. The market went crazy today. It just tanked off right towards the end of the day, and we have some crazy news to cover. Stocks were all over the place today. We have some huge news with Frontier Airlines, CFVI stock that has to do with Joe Rogan in a $100 million deal. We also have some news with Tesla. And then we also have some news with Peloton and some big earnings. So stick with us to the end of the video and let us know what stocks you are watching in the comments down below, and we'll probably take a look at them in tomorrow's video. But Tom, let's get right into it.
Yeah, these earnings have been insane the past few days, Mike, and we can see the S&P 500 has been all over the place. It kind of opened up today, started rising, and then ended up falling off at the end of the day in a major way. We have some pretty big earnings coming up tomorrow, especially before open. We have Pfizer and British Petroleum, and then after close, we're going to have Peloton, and then Enphase, Corsair, looks like Lyft, and then even Spirit Airlines tomorrow, which we do have some things to talk about with. But Mike, these earnings are going to be pretty big. You know, Peloton has been in the news a lot lately, like we're going to cover in a few minutes. And then Pfizer's had a lot of news with their COVID vaccine. So we're definitely going to be in for a nice volatile day and a volatile week as we approach some of these bigger companies. But, you know, talking about some of the earnings tomorrow morning, like Pfizer, you can see Pfizer was all over the place today. So definitely expect some big moves out of some of these companies.
You know it. We're definitely set for a wild week. And Peloton has been all over the place lately. I know Peloton has been in the headlines a lot. It closed up just under 21% today off of rumors that it might be bought by Amazon, Nike, or Apple. So, yeah, Tom, like heading into tomorrow, who knows what's going on with this one? Like it's up 21%, but we all know how earnings can be so volatile.
Yeah, those earnings can definitely make it tough. And, you know, CNBC put out a great article that pretty much talks about everything with Peloton here. It's just so awesome to see that some big names like Amazon are mentioned with some of the people that want to get Peloton here. That's just such amazing news. We all know who Amazon is. You know, they're such a big player in the market. And you can see they even had that great move with their earnings last week. And they're probably like ready to get back in the ball game. You know, if we look at Amazon on a daily chart, they'd been dipping off in a pretty major way. So looking at them, that's just pretty good news that they're going to pick up Peloton, Mike. And Peloton's going to have those earnings coming out tomorrow after close. And guys, let us know in the comments if you think Peloton's going to end up going up or down. Like we've seen some insane moves lately, Mike. They, like you said, they already had a 20% move today. Whenever they report earnings, hopefully it gives them another boost to the upside. You know, if they report some good numbers, that would be nice.
Yeah, so just one thing to keep in mind is that there is no like deal closed yet with Peloton. Just Apple, Amazon, and Nike are potentially looking to buy them. So keep in mind there's still a lot of variables that come into play, but either way, earnings is going to be wild tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, that's crazy there, Tom, but I also know we have a lot of news regarding Tesla too. So what's new with Tesla?
Yeah, there was actually some pretty bad news that dropped this morning with Tesla. You know, they're actually going to have another subpoena coming out from the SEC, and this is not good. You know, they've had a few subpoenas in the past, and as we look at their stock, you know, they did end up ripping up at market open, believe it or not, but then they just ended up tanking off pretty hard to the downside. And this subpoena is just not good news for them. You know, we can see that they've been subpoenaed in the past, like whenever Elon Musk made his funding secured comment in a tweet to take the company private at $420 a share. And now there's another subpoena coming after he conducted a Twitter poll on whether or not he should sell 10% of his shares. And it was just not good whenever that poll pretty much came out and told him to sell. You know, he followed through and he ended up selling a lot of shares, causing a pretty big sell-off in Tesla stock. So it's pretty much understandable why they're issuing him a subpoena. But in the end, I just don't like to see this movement out of Tesla. And I really hope that they can start to recover back from this because their movement lately has not been good.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough. You know, the market's been all over the place. So hopefully Tesla can find some support right around that like $900 level because it's been a pretty crucial level in the past. And 900 is also a pretty big like psychological level.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's a big support. And then there's even another one right below that around $880. And I know this stock is a fan favorite, and I'm definitely rooting for Tesla. Personally, I don't think that this is too bad of a deal. I know that it's always bad to get subpoenas from the SEC, but in the end, I feel like that Tesla will weather this storm. I don't think this is going to be a make or break deal for them. And in the end, Elon was honest. He did say that if it said to sell his 10%, he would do it. And, he followed through.
True that. Fair point. So yeah, interesting news there. And then Tom, I also know that there's some crazy news related to Frontier. So fill us in. What's going on with Frontier Airlines?
Yeah, Frontier and Spirit Airlines are actually going to merge, creating the fifth largest airline in the United States in a $6.6 billion deal. We can see that it looks like Spirit Airlines is going to hold 48.5%, and then Frontier is going to hold 51.5%. So pretty weird in the way they structured that, but obviously they made it to where Frontier is the front runner there, which is kind of interesting. But in the end, though, this is a pretty big deal, Mike. It sent Spirit Airlines just flying up this morning. We can see they ended up closing up 17%, and this was it was so good for them to get this deal. This company specifically has been falling down for the past few months. They had a pretty good double bottom here around $20, and there's just so much good momentum and volume today.
There we go. And Tom, another stock that has a ton of upwards momentum is CFVI. This stock blasted up 18% today. This is Rumble Stock's SPAC, and the Rumble CEO offered Joe Rogan $100 million over 4 years to leave Spotify and join Rumble. So this stock is going crazy. I think it's unlikely that Joe Rogan leaves Spotify because it doesn't seem like Spotify is going to kick him off, but still, it's big news.
Yeah, I'm curious how much money Spotify pays him, but man, this is a pretty crazy thing to look at here. And look what he said. He said, how about you bring all your shows to Rumble, both old and new, with no censorship, for $100 million over 4 years. This is our chance to save the world. And yes, this is totally legit. Sincerely, Chris Pavlovsky. So that's pretty crazy to hear him say words like that. But either way, I mean, their stock really exploded up, Mike. Early in the day, whenever it was at or I should say in the middle of the day, when it was around 1850, I mean, it was up a pretty crazy percentage. We ended up closing up 18%. But I mean, if we look at this today, this stock was on fire. Like from the close of Friday to the high of today, we were up 46% at one point. That's just insane.
Yeah, that is crazy. So definitely keep this one on your radar. It's definitely pretty volatile. But with that being said, I want to shout out our member of the day today, which is Delta Alpha. So huge shout out Delta Alpha. Thanks for being a great member of the Discord chat. And then Tom, I also want to highlight the bot play from today. We can see our hybrid bot called out the VXX 21 strike puts at $166 today. And a couple hours later, it ran all the way up to $194. So if you trade options, definitely check out that second link in the description down below for daily options, swing trades, day trades, and access to an awesome community. We have a coupon running and you can cancel at any time, and the bot's been doing pretty well. So definitely check it out, especially if you're an options trader. But with that being said, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. And with the first one, we have Boeing to the upside.
Yeah, Boeing had a lot of momentum today, along with all those airlines. It seems like a lot of these went up in sympathy with Spirit today, but go ahead and make Boeing break out above $214.50.
All right, with the next one, we have MU, but to the downside.
Yeah, unfortunately, the chip stocks are just kind of consolidating down here. Go ahead and make them break below $80 even. That's going to be a humongous support there.
All right, and with the last one, we have Run, also to the downside.
Yeah, unfortunately, these solar plays and like the EV charging plays kind of turned back over here today, but go ahead and make RUN fall below 2360.
Alrighty, so we are watching Run and MU for potential day trades to the downside tomorrow, only if they break below the levels Tom listed. And we are watching Boeing for a potential day trade to the upside tomorrow, only if it breaks above the level Tom listed. But Tom, do you have any last minute plays for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's going to be insane. Like I talked about, we do have some earnings coming up early in the morning. One of them is going to be British Petroleum. These oil plays have been going insane. We can see BP has been on a huge uptrend along with a few of the other companies. But if they report good earnings, kind of like what we saw with Exxon and Chevron and a few other companies, I feel like British Petroleum could end up getting a pretty good move. So definitely watch this one. I wouldn't say to play it with options necessarily, but I think it could end up having a pretty nice move tomorrow if it goes in the right direction. Same thing for Pfizer. I feel like Pfizer has been all over the place. They've obviously had some vaccine news, and I'm just pretty curious to see how they end up reporting. All these earnings have been all over the place, and I'm really honestly hoping that they have a good report, but I'm kind of thinking that with all the hype they've had lately, they might come in under expectations.
True that. We shall see. But besides that, guys, if you trade options, like I said, definitely check out that second link in the description down below for daily option swing trades, day trades, and access to an awesome community. Also, if you are new here, please consider subscribing. We post brand new videos every single day. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.